Okay. Well, hi guys. Welcome to Sister Pods. Happy Thursday. I want to first and foremost say hi to my co-host, my sister. Hello there.
Hello and good evening-ish. It's still light
I
outside.
I know, right? Yeah. Yes, I was just bragging about Minnesota and how the weather is so nice today. I was like in between hot and cool, and the sun is still out, and it's 7:25 p.m. So Minnesota didn't disappoint this time. So yeah, so guys, welcome to Sister Pods. Today we're going to be continuing our conversation, and we're going to be talking about what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, which is dating. So
Dating.
are you excited to continue the conversation?
Yeah, I was listening to some stuff today. I was like, what a great perspective, but I'm sure we'll cross that bridge today or some other time.
Okay, and we're in our car chronicle. Someone just passed me by, hoop do you know? And that baseline was okay, baselining. All right now. Got me
Wow.
all the way confused. Anyway, I'm like, where am I? Okay, I'm in the car. I'm good. Flashbacks.
Like, mm word.
You have to have a little fun with it. We can't be stiff all the time. Okay, guys. So as I mentioned, we've been talking about dating the last couple of times we came on live, and we're coming to the end of the conversation. So today we're going to talk about, um, you know, um, marriage and different aspects of marriage and statistics around the globe, um, concerning marriage. And I am going to give you a little bit of what I looked up. I wonder if we got the same thing here, but um, when I looked up the statistics about arranged marriages, I saw that arranged marriages are prevalent in South Asia. India being the top country. India is number one, followed by Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and I think Nepal as well. Yeah, so those are the Southern Asian countries that are, um, you know, that kind of, I wouldn't say adhere to arranged marriages, but they're deep rooted in arranged marriages. And then
Mhm.
also we have some countries in the Middle East, and surprisingly China. I don't know why I found that to be a surprise to say that
They're very traditional.
China also. They're very what?
Traditional.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually, after a little bit of thought, I was like, okay. Hmm. And then also we have some African countries as well that um pra you know share this practice. Um, Mainly Nigeria, Kenya, and then some other concerning stats came up too, but it wasn't about arranged marriages. So I just want to stay on that side, on the arranged marriage side. But anyways, so yes, after looking up those countries, I looked at the divorce rate. Girl, the divorce rate in America, here in America, is 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
And the divorce rate in those countries that practice arranged marriages is 4%. Can you believe that?
How did I
Four.
know?
Did you
hmm
get that?
I got it here. It's like I knew what you're gonna say. No, I didn't even look up the divorce rates for arranged marriages. But I would agree that it's just about slim to none because they're so successful. Because their perspective of entering into the marriage is quite different than the Western.
Wow, wow. I was stuck at that, like literally 4%
Hmm.
versus 40 to 50%. That is insane. That's insane. I mean, when you think about the math of it all and you think about the populations in these countries like India, India is the most populated country in the world right now, I think.
That's true.
And then you think about the statistics of a 4% divorce rate. Hey, everybody in India is married.
Look, look, Auntie Sima from the Netflix.
Yeah, that's you know what?
She
That's
said,
your girl. We should write
she
to her.
said, she said, Indian marriages are breaking like biscuits.
Oh God. And
She
by
was
the way,
commenting on
we're not making fun of Indians.
No, we're not, and we're not making fun of divorce. We're just laughing at the fact that she said it's breaking like biscuits.
Wow, wow, wow. Yes, girl. I have to say, you know what? I have to put my hands together for um that was a very impressive those are very impressive statistics. And I say this because I know that from reading a little bit further, it was talking about why divorce is not as prevalent in those countries. And it's like, okay, it was like, okay, it's a little understandable because divorce in those societies is kind of like stigmatized. So, um, that's one of the reasons why marriage is, and let me say that again. Divorce in most of those countries is stigmatized. They look down on divorce. So that I believe that has something to do with why people stay married. Because if the society doesn't have a high regard for divorce, then you're going to want to keep your marriage. You know.
When you say that, now my question is, I should have done research on happily married individuals with arranged marriages, because the way
Hmm.
you're stating that is almost like people are staying in the marriages just to be married, rather than to stay in the marriage um, because they actually want to be with their partner and it's a benefit to their lives to have companionship and the bonuses that one would say comes with marriage. So another question is, are they staying in the marriage just to be married, or are they actually enjoying it?
Well, I like some of the other, some of the other supporting, you know, how can I put it?
Research evidence.
Some of the other, yeah, the supporting, yeah, research, that um, one of the things is family involvement.
Yeah.
During that, the actual process, the arranged marriage process, they get the family involved. So this tells me that um, possibly people do stay together because that's their desire and not just because they have to stay together because of society. Because I'm thinking about the process ahead of time, and it says, uh, you know, the family is involved, and also uh, those parts of the world they tend to marry for compatibility and cultural sameness or cultural um, alignment versus love and romance. So, we're here in the Western world. It's all about love and romance. It's all about external beauty and it's about compatibility also to an extent, but it's more about physique, the physical compatibility and emotional attachment and uh, whereas you know, on the other side of the globe, it is your family helping you select this life partner, and they're selecting these people based on what they know about you, and your family knows you best. So based on what they know about you. So just to go back to what you were saying, I think it's more. I don't want to put it like I feel like they're in their marriages, you know, because they have to be. I think there's more weight, um, around that issue, around that topic.
And I mean, I think that quite a bit of the marriages as well here in the West are also family oriented, as in the family is also involved. Because remember, some families groom their children for marriage at an early age. So they're starting, and who is it? One of the coaches was saying that one of his clients, like, they started to introduce their daughter to who they wanted her to marry at like 16, and she ended up marrying him. But she did that. They knew his parents. They took family vacations with them. So some of the marriages here as well, I wouldn't say theirs is, I guess you could say that is a form of arranged marriage, but I would more so say that to me that's more grooming than arranged, because arranged, they don't really know each other. Well, except Auntie Sima knows all of them.
Actually, I wanna correct you, not necessarily correct you, but arranged marriages they do actually know each other because most people who are involved in those situations are it's families coming together from both sides. So saying just like what you said, saying okay, say someone is like 12 years old and they're like, okay, when that kid is 18, then so and so is gonna marry from so and so. So it's also like the biblical because remember how we talked about how there in the Bible there's no such thing as dating. It was
Mhm.
more so just that person from from that city or from that tribe or whatever, and so that's kind of how it is too with arranged marriages. And I can't speak for all the cultures, but from what I remember looking up, these are families that know each other and they find that those people are suitable for one another. And it's also about social status and
Yeah.
and education. So there's a lot more involved. So it's not random. It's very selective, and that's why when it happens that way, they want it to stay. The families encourage the longevity of the marriage.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking of Sima.
Oh, but
Because
oh,
they
okay.
don't,
Yeah,
because
I
they don't,
think
the
that's more
chances of
like
knowing each other.
the modern dating. I think what you're doing, right?
Yeah, well, yes, but she's still doing it as a traditional thing but she's the only one who knows the family. She's the only one who knows both the male and the female's families. She does her research, takes them on as clients and stuff. So I guess in her aspect, it's matchmaking and sort of kind of arranged-ish marriage. But
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
I get the same. But why do you, I mean, so look, would you be interested in doing an arranged marriage?
most definitely. Yeah, you know what I always say. I would rather marry someone who I've known all along
Mm-hmm.
and who, my family has known. I mean, the person doesn't have to be from my city. They don't even have to be from my country. But there's nothing better than familiarity. When you kind of know someone.
Hmm.
I think it works a little bit better than when you don't. So you have a reference point. You have somewhere to start from rather than starting from
Yeah.
scratch. Yeah.
No, accountability for sure. And
Hmm.
people are not
Hmm.
just they're not gonna break it like biscuits because they don't want to get in trouble with because they have a connection too with their family and your family and the dad and stuff. There's more honor involved.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's
Oh yeah.
more
And that
honor.
and that's where there's the dark side, and that I don't want to talk about the dark side because we're talking about dating. It's supposed to be happy, but that's why in some cultures there's a dark side um to that. I'll leave it there. But yeah, so I was very taken aback by the stats. But then when you look at where we live, you know, and you look at the emphasis on society and, you
Mhm.
know, how people are dating and speed dating and situationships and, you know, people getting marriages you know, divorces in 6 months, people getting married in 6 days, uh, getting divorced. And I'm not saying the same people that get married in 6 days get divorced all the time, but
Right.
what are the stats on those people staying together? You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, I do know a couple in Michigan where they dated for a week and they are still married and they're of gosh, I think at the time they were at least 30, maybe like 20 years in. And that was like
Mhm.
they're probably like hitting 45 years right now.
But what are the statistics to show, or where are those statistics that are showing us that that's something that, you know, is successful versus something that's here and there? You know what I mean?
I think
Uh,
that would be harder to trace because a lot of them probably are not successful. Because now I'm thinking about 90 Day Fiance and even when you're not doing 90 Day Fiance and the visas and stuff, people are still getting into relationships like that where they're dating for 90 days and then they're getting married and then they're, going to Vegas and then it's over.
yeah. And for me, one of marriage for me is one of those things. It's a godly institution, you know. It's a godly institution. It's ordained by God Himself. And the idea of someone getting married and getting divorced 3 months later, it's a mockery, you know? Uh it is a mockery. And there's no excitement with in marriage anymore. I mean, every single podcast, including ours,
Ah,
every single podcast is talking about how to date, when to date, who to date. You know, break up with him. If he doesn't have money, don't date him. If she's too successful, be careful. She might be you know, controlling. If she doesn't have any money, she doesn't have a good job, she might be a gold digger. I mean, it's endless, honestly. And for me, it's like it's discouraging, it's annoying that every podcast you watch is telling you if he doesn't text you, he doesn't like you. If he doesn't call, remember that lady? If he doesn't call you, he doesn't like you. If he ain't looking for you, whatever she says, he doesn't like you. If he does, he does. It's like this culture is obsessed with relationships, and these relationships are even dead-ended relationships. You
my,
know,
my.
so for me, it's like it's almost, and this is a very candid moment in this conversation between you and I and whoever's going to watch this. But for me, sometimes it's like, what's the point? You know, it's like, what's the point? You might as well stay in your corner, have your peace, you know, and enjoy your life,
Yeah. But you know
you
what?
know?
What's the point? Because look, you're tying into what I was listening to today. Is that some people are called to the journey of being single, and that biblically it actually it's almost as if singleness is more valuable than marriage in a way because single you don't have the commitment of serving somebody else. You have the commitment of serving the Lord. Your attention is not divided. So let me not say that it's more important because there's nothing like covenant, but covenant marriage is just one aspect of covenant. There are other covenants that are made.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody knowing that they are single. I think the issue is that some people are like the many things I listened to today is that some people are called to singleness, but they have been discouraged to stay single. So now
Yeah.
they're trying to get in relationships, but they're not called to that. They are actually happy and they're satisfied on their own. And some people have been called to marriage, but it's not yet your time. And what I was listening to is talking about you need to know the season you're in and take full advantage of your single season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Period. Because like this girl said, she's like, the season is for you to get seasoned. I was like, you better say that. But yeah, I think it's the whole comparison thing, and it throws everybody off. It really does, especially now with social media and everything. And like you said, you're seeing all these weddings and stuff. I mean, now I'm thinking about Four Weddings. I'm sure you never watched that on
No.
TLC.
That's your thing. Yeah, I don't even watch TV. I don't
I,
watch
I love
movies.
I love the interior decorations and decor and food and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that, but it just goes to show you that we have been wired to connect. We just need to know who to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, I was gonna say something too. You brought up a good point when you mentioned those movies. One has to be careful too. One has to be careful too with the kind of movies that you watch because don't
Oh
forget
yeah.
you're watching these movies and you know
Mhm.
they're images that are being created in your mind, especially for people who have never been married. Unrealistic imagery and thoughts and ideas and and hopes and dreams because of all these fairy tale movies, and it's like no, the reality is marriage is more than a fairy tale. There's so many aspects of marriage, and uh, if you indulge in too many of those kinds of you know those kinds of fables, then it can mislead you. It can be very misleading, very disappointing, and very disheartening. And a lot of times people don't date they're people who don't. There are a lot of people who are even in their 30s, going to their 40s. They've never been married. There's some virgins. They've never been intimate. And I'm not, promoting intimacy before marriage, but I'm just saying all that. It's society. It's what we see. It's what we hear on a constant day-to-day basis. It's the lies and it's the exaggeration of what things are and maybe what things are not. So yeah, there's so much more to this, and we're gonna have to pick this up. I didn't know
Look,
time was gonna go by
but
so
just to be
fast.
clear, Four Weddings is not a movie. It was actually about four brides that are getting married and that like how their weddings were different and stuff, and they were
Oh,
gonna
okay.
so it wasn't like it's not a rom-com. It's real.
Yeah,
It was
I
real.
know how you be. So
It's not a
anyway,
rom-com. Okay, it was on TLC and they were getting married for real and they were just trying to win the honeymoon. Don't try it.
okay. Well, guys, we're gonna pause here. We are going to pause here. We're giving you guys something to think about, and we're gonna come back next week. We're gonna close out this dating session. But as you go, think about the statistics and think about our society, the society, especially us in the West. You know, is our society promoting marriage, promoting longevity in relationships?
Yeah.
Is our society promoting the build up of family or the breakdown of family? Because marriage is what comes before a family. Well, actually, that's supposed to be the order, but in our society, it's backwards, done backwards. So that's for there are a lot of broken relationships, broken homes, even before people get an opportunity to get married. They've already been in a relationship. They already have several kids with with someone who they're not, who they didn't share those marriage vows with. So they've started off on uneven ground now, right?
Mm.
So let's marinate on that, and come back next week and talk about and round this dating conversation up.
Hmm. I like your last statement, uneven ground.
Oh
Hmm.
yes, oh yes. Well, thanks guys for joining us. You guys have an awesome evening. We'll see you next Thursday again on Sister to Sister podcast. Bye, T.